My name is Sarah, and some of you know me as the Paris Quiz Mistress. I host trivia nights in Paris, and I'm a lifelong trivia addict. My obsession has led me to meet lots of cool and nerdy people from around the world, and this podcast is a chance to find out how my trivia pals got into this weird and wonderful world of quizzing and why we continue to torture ourselves with it. So play along when we put our knowledge to the test and try to stump each other with our best zingers. Stay tuned for lots of trivia and nerdery. Let's geek out together. Jeff is a regular player at my pub trivia nights. He is the team captain of a team that is regularly named the Quizly Bears. And the Quizly Bears are not only loyal followers of the IRL pub quizzes, but they've played almost every virtual quiz that I've hosted during the lockdowns here in France. So I was very happy to welcome him onto the show. Jeff is a big board game nerd, so we definitely get into the weeds on board gaming. I learned a lot, and it's really fun to talk to people who are so knowledgeable and passionate about something. We also share very deep appreciation for Lord of the Rings, so expect some of that. There you go. Welcome to the podcast, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
How did we meet?
Well, I don't know if you remember the first time, but it was right after I arrived in Paris, which was 2016. I like to quiz. I like to play games, so I found you on Meetup, and I came out to Rush Bar, and I dragged my partner, who's not a trivia person at all, and had a good time. But it took a couple of years before I found people to bring back with me to play with a real regular team, which is how I prefer to play trivia. So I came back 2 years after that, and that was when we really properly met and became friends.
I did not realize that you'd come to my quiz in 2016.
Yeah, I came and scoped you out one time and didn't come back for a couple of years. So
I'm just trying to think like how I could change to build more loyalty if it took you like 2-3 years to get back.
No, I mean, a lot of people come to these trivia things and they meet people, they join other teams, and they they socialize. I like to go with my friends and have a team and like come back with them every week and try and win. And so it took me having the right friends to drag with me.
And now you've joined Learned League as well.
Yes, thanks to you. I've been really thrown into the deep end of trivia. And yeah, it's been fun. How
was your rookie season?
It was really nice to wake up and have something positive to do in the mornings. With the confinement, there's not that much variety in the day, so having just a few questions to wake up to is a lot of fun. And looking forward to the new season.
I think Learned League is a good way to stay in touch with a lot of people that you've heard on the podcast, and that I've met through trivia, because it gives you something to talk about every day with your friends that it's hard to keep in touch otherwise sometimes. Yeah. So
I'm not very good at it, but I'm definitely learning a lot of interesting facts every day.
So I was hoping that you could take us back to your trivia origin story and sort of how did you come to this lifestyle?
Yeah, it certainly is a lifestyle. So I was always a gamer. I don't know if I was a trivia guy, but growing up, I was born into a gaming family. My parents met playing bridge. My sister and I were hyper competitive when we were kids, and we had a stack of board games in the basement, and we would use them to exert superiority over each other. And along with that was
older sister or younger sister?
Older by 18 months.
Okay.
So close enough to compete. And there was an old box of Trivial Pursuit along with those board games. And so we would, quiz each other on obscure tennis players from the 70s that, we knew nothing about, but we knew that this was important knowledge to have when we were 8 years old. So we basically tried to memorize the box to beat each other. And
wow. Just
growing up, my friends in high school and college, we were gamers also. We didn't drink or party or do much, so we would come to my parents' basement and play board games and watch Lord of the Rings and play trivia. So even now when I go back to Edmonton, it's we sit in my parents' basement until 2 in the morning reading each other Trivial Pursuit cards. And that's just kind of what we do. So I got into pub trivia when I lived in Taipei. And, I was more outwardly social, but, wanted to keep the games in my activity. So I got really into pub trivia, and that's how I ended up in it in Paris when I arrived. I'm very social. I like to meet people and I like to interact with people, but I'm also very awkward. And so having a focus, having an outlet where I can focus all my attention is very helpful for me.
That's not that you're not special, but a lot. I find this
I know
a lot
I'm not special,
a lot of people. Like I think it's quite common.
Have you ever given your trivia background story on the podcast before? I don't know if I've heard how you got into trivia.
I think probably in bits and pieces, because I think it took me a while to piece together all of the, it's like when you realize you're gay and then all like a bunch of stuff from your childhood suddenly makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But for me, it's like there was less of that, and there was more like trivia clues. Yeah, I went on a cruise with my family when I was 17. And you know how have you ever been on a cruise? Yeah,
and I have another very distinct trivia memory from my first cruise.
Okay. Well, like how they give you the schedule for the day under your door every morning. Yeah. So I was like a junior in high school, and I would take every morning and I would just circle all of the trivia games and all the various like bars on the cruise ship. Yeah. And that was my whole day. That was my entire day.
We come from the same same background, I think.
Yeah. So that was one thing that definitely like came back to me.
Yeah. For me, the competition of it really brought me in, I think, and just like especially with my family, but eventually with my friends, it's I don't know, that intersection of competition, but like knowing random things about random things that justifies you, binging a series or reading 10 books.
Yeah, I definitely have that, like, I want, like, workable information.
Yeah, it's social armor, too, right? Like, if you have some facts that you can just drop on, then you'll get through most situations.
Yeah. I just love the idea of you, like, as a 9-year-old memorizing, like, tennis stats from the 70s.
It was always John McEnroe. Whatever the question was, it was always John McEnroe.
Yeah. You just have to have those go-to answers, like the signal words.
Yeah, it's the Trivial Pursuit trick. Just memorize the one. Opera is Carmen.
Exactly.
You just need your go-tos.
Exactly. Cool. Should we get into the trivia?
Let's do it. First question. The always edgy band The Offspring turned the name of what Kinks song on its head 12 years before Mark Ruffalo starred in a film of the same name, in which he learns he's the father to a 12-year-old boy named Laser. And to be clear, the Kinks song and the Mark Ruffalo film share the same name. The Offspring inverted the title because they're very edgy.
Okay, I could do this. I could name Kinks songs. I could name Offspring songs. So it's not coming to me right away.
Okay. How about the Mark Ruffalo movie?
I was trying to name Mark Ruffalo movies, but then I could only think of 13 Going on 30. Was he in that?
Yes, he was. It was after that. The film was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture, I believe, but it was when they started including like 9 or 10 films at a time.
Yeah. No, don't give me hints yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So The Offspring, the first thing I thought of was Why Don't You Get a Job? All of their songs sound the same, but they're all really good.
The screamy, angsty, late 90s, I Hate the World and My Parents vibe.
Well, it was, I was the right age. I was the target audience.
Yeah.
There was, is it, was it The Kids Are All Right?
Yes. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, that's the movie?
That's the movie with Mark Ruffalo. There's a lesbian couple, Julianne Moore and Annette Bening.
Okay, and I never saw it. And
Mark Ruffalo donates his sperm and is the surprise father of both of their kids, actually. So it's The Kids Are All Right, which is the name of the Kinks song, which The Offspring then turned around and did The Kids Aren't All Right.
Okay.
Pubescent anger anthem. Next question. In Boston, what beloved business stayed open at the request of law enforcers during a citywide lockdown in 2013? For extra credit, what was the reason for the lockdown, and what branding controversy did this business go through at the start of 2019?
Okay, it has to be Dunkin Donuts.
Okay, yes.
And 2013, I'm going to have to go with the Boston Marathon bombing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because the guy that did it was on the run for several days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I assume that the city was locked down.
Yeah. And the cops couldn't go without their coffee and donuts for those days, and so they...
Nobody could.
No.
Right, yeah.
But it was specifically the law enforcers who requested Dunkin' stay open through the...
Yeah.
And
the branding controversy. I did see something like this.
the beginning of 2019.
Did they just change their name to Dunkin?
That's it.
Okay.
100%.
So it's just called Dunkin.
Yeah, it's Dunkin' now.
Because you know what they call it. Well, you know what we just call it.
No, tell me.
We're just Dunkies.
Dunkies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Dunks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They tried to be a thing in Canada, but we have Timmy's, so.
Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you ask me a question about that?
Hold that thought.
All right. Onwards?
Onwards.
Popular YouTuber and film critic Lindsay Ellis was nominated for a Hugo Award for her three-part YouTube documentary in which she journeyed to New Zealand and back again to investigate what?
So, I think I got into Lindsay Ellis because of you.
I think we had a conversation about her
Yeah.
a while back, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so this would be The Hobbit.
Right. Basically, she went to New Zealand to investigate why the Hobbit series failed to live up to the magic of the Lord of the Rings, which she's obviously a big fan of. But her third part of the documentary got into the Hobbit law and the way that all of the local filmmakers in New Zealand were basically screwed over because Warner Brothers made a deal with the Prime Minister of New Zealand to remove all of their labor rights, basically. And it's something that affects them to this day. And they've basically ruined the film industry in New Zealand, which is about to be repealed. But yeah, since then it's been a bit of a nightmare.
Wow. Okay. No,
Thanks.
I will watch that third part of it. I stopped when they were like when she talked about how it was all like the script was being written and rewritten as like filming was happening. Like it was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It's depressing.
And it was even worse because you know that Peter Jackson can make a good ass movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, good job.
Thanks.
Three for three so far. All right, next question. Which 18th century historical figure was so universally reviled at the end of his so-called reign? Popular myth suggests that his execution was made intentionally more painful by applying a simple 180-degree rotation.
Whoa. Okay. Reviled figure, 18th century.
That's right.
Public execution or execution?
It was a public execution.
And at 180-degree rotation. Rotation of what?
That's the question. And he was reviled at the end of his reign.
Reign. I mean, would it be Louis the 16th?
No, but you're on the right track.
Like Robespierre?
Robespierre, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reign of Terror. He wasn't actually a leader. He didn't have a real reign, but I don't think it actually happened, but there's a very popular myth on the internet in which he was turned to face upwards when he was guillotined.
Oh, okay.
So that he could face the reality of what he put a lot of people through by making these executions such a common thing at the time.
Feels too good to be true.
Yeah. I mean, if it happened, that would be very interesting, but I think it's more of a myth than anything.
All right. Morbid. I like it.
Yeah, maybe that one's a bit too dark. I promise the rest are more family friendly.
Yeah, this is depressing. Marathon bombings, just labor rights being trampled, beheadings. Go on. Where are you going to take me next?
We're here for a good time. I'm taking you to Barbados.
Woohoo!
She's not the only girl in the world. If the pop princess who found fame with Pon de Replay had decided to go by her first given name instead of her second, she might be confused with which other uncommonly spelled mononymous singer.
Ooh, okay. So we're talking about Rihanna.
Of course, yes.
Obs. I am not sure. Mononymous. So I could just name some mononymous singers. JoJo.
It's not JoJo, no. Go through the list. You'll get there eventually.
I doubt it's Madonna.
No, it's not Madonna. Well, that would be an incredible birth name.
Madonna Rihanna. Barbados. Let me. What? Adele, maybe?
No, but that's a good guess. The other hint is it's an uncommonly spelled name. The name is spelled differently than it normally is.
The way Rihanna spells it, and the other singer.
Yes. Yeah, they have the same spelling, and it's uncommon.
Okay. It's a woman singer?
Yes.
I mean, Beyonce is not a common name.
No, but it's not Beyonce.
Can you give me a hint?
There is a particular reason why I chose this singer for you.
I mean, it's not Gaga.
No, but I've heard you play this artist at several of your trivia events.
Okay.
In fact, almost everyone.
Everyone.
Almost.
Oh, who's like really good for trivia then?
It's alliterative, her name.
But you said mononymous.
Yes. Sorry, Rihanna's name is alliterative.
Oh, so it starts with an R. Oh, it's Robin.
Yeah, it's Robin.
Oh, good. That's not the... Okay, no, yeah, Robin is what I play while
You play her at the end of every one of your trivia games.
Yeah, I do.
Which I really enjoy. I mean, it's probably one of the reasons we became friends. But
Oh, good. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, good, we got there.
Oh, man.
So, for this next question, I'm slightly obsessed with Super Bowl halftime show themes. Starting in 1969, they've been giving the halftime show ridiculous names like Rockin' Country Sunday, From Paris to the Paris of America, or my personal favorite, 200 Years and Just a Baby, a tribute to America's bicentennial.
And Just a Baby.
Yeah, I hope they talk about me like that when I'm 200. So of all the Super Bowl halftime shows, perhaps the most infamous was in 2004, often remembered as the wardrobe malfunction heard around the world. The show was produced by MTV and carried the theme Choose or Lose. Choose or Lose was a campaign originally started by MTV in 1992 to promote what?
Voting, registering to vote.
Yeah, you got that right away.
Cool. Yeah. MTV, Rock the Vote.
Yeah, exactly. And if we weren't also distracted by that nipple, maybe we'd be coming away from that with more fervor for John Kerry.
Yeah, right? Might have avoided the Bush years.
I know. I have two more questions. And so far you're 100%, so...
Well, okay.
Well.
There were some hints.
I count that.
Thanks.
All right. I like this next one. Nintendo's mustachioed mascot Mario made his first video game appearance in the arcade hit Donkey Kong in 1981. What popular American cartoon, originally created in 1929, inspired the dynamic between Mario, the damsel, and the brutish ape? The title character of this cartoon was originally intended as the game's hero before Nintendo failed to claim the rights, resulting in Mario's creation.
I'm thinking something like King Kong?
No, not quite. The question starts, what popular American cartoon created in 1929 inspired the dynamic between Mario, the damsel, and the brutish ape?
Brutish ape.
The title character of this cartoon was originally intended as the game's hero before Nintendo failed to claim the rights.
So Nintendo tried to take a cartoon character. Oh, was it Pinocchio? No.
It was originally a comic strip, I believe, but it was becoming popular again around the time that Mario was created.
Okay. I knew Donkey Kong was the original, and then Mario was the spin-off. Mm-hmm. It's not... Yeah, I guess Pinocchio is like thinking donkeys.
So don't think ape. The ape character was based on the person, and the princess character is always getting herself into trouble and needing to be rescued by the hero.
I mean, I feel like this is often... I mean, it's a pop culture archetype, right? Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. I think you're going to have to give it to me.
I can give you a couple more small... So the comic strip was from the 20s, and it was experiencing a resurgence in America with a new cartoon and a film starring Robin Williams just before the game came out.
Aladdin?
No. Should I give it to you?
Peter Pan? No? I don't...
No, it's not Disney.
Robin Williams. Well, Hook that's what I was thinking.
Right.
Gosh, I'm going to kick myself.
It's Popeye.
Oh, okay.
With Bluto as the big Donkey Kong character. But yeah, Nintendo was having a hard time breaking into the North American market, and they were seeing this show Popeye experiencing a resurgence, and so they tried to buy the rights to it and make a game based on Popeye, and and they couldn't, so they came up with Mario, and here we are.
Cool.
I'm glad I was able to stump you at least once.
All like cartoon bad guys kind of look like him. Those old like Looney Tunes stuff. Yeah, anyways.
Tie the princess to the track kind of character.
That's what I was picturing.
Yeah.
So Nintendo.
Yeah.
Do you know what it originally started as? What their first like activity as a company was?
I knew this at one point. I know that they are like over 100 years old. So they've been going for a long time, but I don't remember why.
So it was playing cards.
Right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I believe they were founded the same year that the Eiffel Tower was completed.
Okay. It's a good piece of trivia.
Yeah, I've used it before.
I can tell.
Yep.
Yes, I have one more question. Dr. Margaret Todd gave science the word for different forms of one basic substance. It's from the Greek for equal and place. So this question has a very specific source, which is why I'm asking it. But if I were to have written it myself, I would include details about how the answer is also the name of Springfield's minor league baseball team in The Simpsons, or how the Greek word for equal is also used in the word for triangles that have two equal sides.
Oh, is it isotope?
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, Springfield. I'm not a Simpsons person.
Okay.
I always enjoy it when I watch it. I think I was just never allowed to watch it growing up.
Yeah.
And then
there are two camps of kids: the kids that were allowed to watch Simpsons and those who weren't.
Yeah, the kids whose parents didn't care about them, and the kids whose parents cared about them a little too much.
It really divided that line. But do you know why I asked you that question?
The isotopes. No.
It was the last question that Alex Trebek ever gave on Jeopardy
last
week. So
was it the final?
Yeah, it was the final Jeopardy clue.
Oh.
I wanted to ask a trivia question about trivia, and I feel like this will, going forward, be one of those questions that people know about Jeopardy. So.
Oh, that was very sweet. That was a very good idea. I always have the question that Ken Jennings lost on etched in my memory.
Oh yeah.
It was, out of this company's like something thousand employees, 80% of them only work 1 month a year. Oh,
well, it's got to be for Christmas, for deliveries or something like that. So I would guess maybe Amazon or
this was
UPS
2004.
Oh, okay. Well, UPS then.
So you and Ken had the same logic.
Okay.
He put FedEx and lost.
Yeah.
And Nancy Zerg, which is a great name, got it correct, and it was H&R Block.
Oh, tax season. Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
All right. I
certainly hope that you do as well as me, because, you know, this is just a friendly sparring match, right?
Yeah, but as I said, I get competitive, so I'm shaking in my boots now. This is real.
Jeff, are you ready for your quiz?
I think I'm ready.
Well, I certainly hope so. So you're my first Canadian guest.
Oh, the honor.
Yes. And I am a big fan of Canada trivia.
Oh no. Don't ask me anything about Canada.
I mean, I'll be gentle.
I'll just be embarrassed if I get it wrong.
No, these should be okay. Yeah. So, first question. In the musical Avenue Q, what is the name of Rod's supposed girlfriend who lives in Canada?
Oh no. So I've seen Avenue Q. The first time I went to London, because every time I go to London I have to see a musical. Well, the first time I saw Wicked the first day, and then I saw Avenue Q, and then I saw Lord of the Rings the musical on my birthday, which was the best and worst musical I've ever seen.
That sounds accurate.
Incredible.
Wow.
But what was the name of the girlfriend who lived in Canada? I can remember the song, Canadian woman's name.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't something like Cheryl, was it?
No, there are a lot of Canadian Cheryls.
Thinking like Cheryl.
Is Sheryl Crow Canadian?
Yeah, no, I was going to say Shania Twain, and then I said Cheryl.
Sheryl Crow isn't Canadian, is she?
No, she's not.
No. I'm like, she could be secret Canadian.
Oh, we have a lot of those.
I used to play this game with my friends, and the game was just name celebrities that you could convince people are Canadian.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter if they are or not. So because we played this game so much, I don't know. But Sheryl Crow is a good one. Like, oh, Sheryl Crow.
Yeah,
I don't know. She's
I should have leaned into that. Yeah, she's one of ours. No, I don't have anything.
So it's Alberta.
Alberta. Her name is Alberta. Oh.
Her name is Alberta. She lives in Vancouver.
Oh, that's embarrassing. That's not the song from Avenue Q that I know the best.
I mean, it's like 2 minutes of him pretending he
Yeah.
has a girlfriend in Canada.
That's a good question.
And you're from?
Alberta,
Wow.
not Vancouver. All right.
I recently learned Alberta is the Texas of Canada.
It sure is.
Yeehaw.
Alberta beef, cowboy hats, pickup trucks, big belt buckles.
Trump supporters.
Yeah, you could say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have some more Canada for you.
Please.
If you shall permit me. So this was a nice answer to your previous question about dunks. So if I went to Tim Hortons and ordered a double-double, what would I get?
Well, so I didn't start drinking coffee until after I left Canada, but I do know that when you go to Tim Hortons, you can order a double-double. It's one of the most common orders, and I believe it is a coffee with 2 milk and 2 sugar.
Correct. One more Canada question. What was the surname of the quintuplets born in Ontario in 1934? They became wards of the state and grew up in their own theme park, Quintland, because human rights were not a thing at the time.
That speaks to me, but only barely. It's a little bit before my time.
I can say that they have the same, almost the same last name as another Canadian celebrity.
So that could be Myers, that could be Carey, that could be Dion. Is it Dion?
Yes.
It is the Dion quintuplets?
Dion, yes.
All right.
Dionne.
Okay, yeah. As soon as I got to that sparked something.
Oh,
so.
good.
Okay.
Good hint.
The Dion quintuplets. Very good. Thank you.
Good hint, well used. Okay. Cool. So, moving on. So, young Jeff left your native Canada, moved to...
Taipei.
Which is in Taiwan,
Mm-hmm.
which is the setting for your next question.
Okay.
So, according to legend and the tourism industry, the gold rush town of Jufen in Taiwan inspired the setting for what Japanese animated fantasy film?
So I have been to Jofen a couple times. It's one of my favorite places to take people when they come to visit because it's very scenic, idyllic. It's cut into the hillside, narrow roads, night markets, little stalls selling dumplings and food, and it's also one of my favorite movies. So Spirited Away would be the answer.
Amazing. Yes. Good job. Apparently not true, according to the director.
Yeah, I've heard that it's disputed, although you would never hear that in Taiwan.
No.
From what they claim, this is 100% the case. But, I mean, I could believe it. If you go there and walk around, you could definitely believe that it was set there.
Spirited Away.
Beautiful film, beautiful town.
It's on my list. I've never seen it,
Really?
but
It's on
I may someday.
You may.
I don't watch movies.
Really? It's really good.
I like movies. I like the idea of a movie.
As long as you know things about movies, you don't actually have to watch them.
Yeah,
Is that it? You just...
kind of. Next. So, 18th century Enlightenment philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau is known for writing the first modern autobiography, which I'll just bet served as the inspiration for a 2004 album by Usher. What title do these works share?
Oh, boy. Okay. It's a good question. I live on the street that is Rue Jean-Jacques Rousseau. You said 2004 Usher.
Yeah.
For some reason, when you said Usher, I went back to Canada and thought David Usher and got sidetracked there. But no, it's not the same person. Usher, I don't know what he did. And I don't know the name of the autobiography. So, The Fall of Man.
Wow. No. It is not. It is Confessions.
Oh, God. Yes, of course.
Confession. Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Usher is a tribute to Jean-Jacques Rousseau, which is a fact that I'm making up right
both
now.
had a lot to confess to, so it tracks.
Oh, there you go. Confessions. Next question. We are moving on to the RuPaul portion of
All
the
right.
of the quiz.
Let me get into my quick drag here.
Name the most lip-synced to artist in Drag Race herstory.
Okay. I know that at some point the answer was Paula Abdul, because Paula Abdul was, I guess, judge, and they brought out this piece of trivia. But there have been many seasons of RuPaul since then. So is it still Paula Abdul?
No, you are far off. So
Okay.
Paula Abdul, I have a couple stats
Yeah.
to share.
Okay.
Paula Abdul has only been performed 4 times.
Only 4. Okay.
Yes. I'm looking for an artist who's been performed 28 times.
Oh my God. In lip syncs on
In lip syncs.
RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yes.
28 times. Okay. So someone with a big catalog of work that is not very expensive to license. So it could be Cher, but it's not Cher. It's I'm trying to eliminate the big ones that it's definitely not, like Madonna, like Gaga, like could it? No, 28 times. I can't picture an artist that. Oh, you know what? Is it Whitney Houston?
No. Whitney Houston 5 times.
Oh, of course, it's RuPaul
Yes.
herself. The notorious self-promoter, the
Yes.
whole reason for the existence of RuPaul's Drag Race,
Yeah.
to promote the brand that is
Yeah.
RuPaul.
Buy my song on iTunes.
Of course. You know, I every time a RuPaul song comes up in a lip sync, I just sort of, my brain turns off and I filter out what's happening, because it's never the thing you show up for.
No. Well, no. But then that's all you
Yeah.
sing for the rest of the day.
That's true.
Yeah, so bit of a
Okay,
mean
okay.
question.
No,
Um,
very valid. Well done.
so Madonna has 6.
Okay.
6 times. Britney Spears, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Ariana Grande
Okay.
with 5 each, although Spears has been performed 7 times with Stronger and Toxic used twice.
Yes.
And then with 4 songs each, we have Gaga, Paula Abdul, Nicki Minaj. But Gaga has been lip-synced to 5 times because Born This Way has been used twice.
Okay.
Now we know.
Okay.
That question, actually, you have your rival, Adam, to
Which
thank.
one? Oh, yes, my Drag Race rival.
Yeah.
I have several rivals, but I have one Drag Race rival, apparently.
Yeah.
The one who beat us on the tiebreaker question when we both aced your RuPaul's Drag Race trivia quiz.
It was epic. It was a photo finish.
You had a lot of upset bears in drag that night. We were on Zoom together and we were all in drag, and
You were not.
yeah, you came in afterwards and you came in
I don't remember when anyone else dressed up.
it wasn't like real drag, because I mean
You all just wore like
we're in confinement, but you know, it was confinement drag. And yeah, the tiebreaker question was about the number of episodes that Michelle Visage had been on, and
Yes.
we were off by like 8.
Yeah, and they got it, I think, exactly, or almost very
Yes,
close.
Yeah, he was right on.
Next question. Because you've mentioned you are a Tolkien fan, I want to know, what do the following Tolkien characters have in common, and which, in my opinion, is the most significant member missing from this group?
Oh boy, okay.
Farmer Maggot, Fredegar Fatty Bulger, Gon Gon, Glorfindel, and Prince Imrahil.
Farmer Maggot was, I believe, the one that chased Frodo and Sam as they were leaving the Shire. I think maybe Merry and Pippin were stealing their crops. Are these characters that were in the book but did not appear in the movies?
Correct.
And the one outstanding member would be from the Fellowship of the Ring, when they're banding about before they meet Aragorn and they run into Tom Bombadil.
Yes, very good. Yep.
Right.
I think everyone would agree that that's the favorite character from the books not featured in the movies.
Yeah, I would also say it was a smart omission given the tone that they were trying to go with in the films.
Yeah, well, it's a big parentheses in the
Yes,
books. So.
yes.
No, very good. So characters not in the films, not pictured in the films.
Okay.
Because I believe Farmer Maggot and
Yes.
I think Fatty Bulger are mentioned, but they're not pictured. And Tom Bombadil, the missing element of that list. Okay, next question. Act 3 of Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale features one of the most infamous stage directions in the history of theater. What is the direction, which implies the offstage death of Antigonus?
Yes, I believe I know this one, and I believe I know why you're asking me this one. It has something to do with a bear, I believe.
Does it?
And would it be exit chased by a bear, if you were to convert it into modern English?
I'll count it. Exit pursued by a bear.
Pursued by a bear. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. A very good stage direction.
I feel pursued by many bears on a weekly basis, almost.
Yeah, it's the story of my life. Pursued by bears. I wish.
There are worse lives. All right. I must admit, I did outsource the next questions because I know you are a big board game fan.
Here we go. I was waiting for the board game question.
Here, they're coming. They're coming right at the end.
Okay.
And our friend Tony, our mutual friend Tony, is also a big board game fan. So some of these are more grand public, can we say? And some of them I'm hoping to get a little bit into this niche that I know far too little about.
Let's get nerdy.
All right. So, with over 600 published board games, which board game designer is nothing short of prolific? His best known titles are, according to Tony, Lost Cities, Tigris and Euphrates, Modern Art, and Ingenious, to name but a few.
Okay, so I own Lost Cities, and I have played Tigris and Euphrates. Board game designer names, although they print them on the box, it's not always the first thing that you commit to memory, but I think this one might be Rainier Knizia.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Rainier Knizia, yeah.
Yeah, he enjoys auction mechanics in his games, which I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, he's certainly prolific. He's one of those names that you hear around in the board game community. And I've never had to pronounce that name out loud, so
Knizia.
Knizia.
Wow.
It's like K and an N, but it's not.
He'll forgive
silent.
us.
Yeah. Maybe he won't. I don't know. He seems like a bit of a stickler.
Okay, so I have a last round. It's a lightning round.
Okay.
And it is board games in other words. I'm going to say the name of a board game in other words. You would just have to say the name of the game.
Okay.
Tony continues to be the author of this section.
Thanks, Tony.
So, single ownership.
Single ownership Monopoly.
Correct.
You had to give me a Monopoly question, didn't you?
Sorry. Is that like a bad... Is that like, it's like a no-no?
Nobody actually enjoys playing Monopoly, like famously. So it's... You always have to defend being a board gamer to people that only know Monopoly, because they hear that you're a board gamer and they think, oh, why would you spend your free time playing that trash? Because they're thinking of Monopoly.
I'm not a gamer, but my brain always goes to Catan.
Oh yeah. I mean, Catan is the next level up, but Monopoly is really the base. And the problem is that Monopoly is a playable game if you play by the rules, but most people don't play by the rules, and so the version of Monopoly that most people play is endless and infuriating because they insert money. It's like an endless cycle of money that never depletes. So it's...
Well, wasn't it made by a communist to try to show the dangers of capitalism?
It certainly was, yeah.
Yeah.
And instead we turned it into a great celebration of capitalism and came up with like hundreds of versions to sell for Christmas time.
Oh well, nerds. But not the right kind of nerds.
Ignorant nerds.
Ignorant nerds. The worst. Terrible. Not us.
Fake nerds.
Next. Small pieces of heavily weighted paper contrary to mankind.
Okay. All right, I didn't get it until the end of there, but that would be Cards Against Humanity.
Yes. Again, kind of more mainstream than...
Yeah. But there's a game for every occasion.
That's beautiful.
A good... I mean, I like a good 4-hour strategic epic, but sometimes you just need something light that you can laugh at and be offensive with your friends.
My game for every occasion is Bananagrams.
Oh, I like Bananagrams. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's easy to carry around and just pull that banana out of your pocket and people get excited. So.
Yep. Always. Crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Next. A book series by Stephanie Meyer, if it were involved in a tussle of world powers.
Okay, so that was either going to be Twilight Imperium or Twilight Struggle, and I believe it is the latter, which
Correct.
is an excellent Cold War 2-player game that really simulates the stress and tension that the Cold War contained.
So they say.
So they say. So I've heard. I mean, I was a baby. I was
Good. Very good. Next. Septenary Marvels, or the Temple of Artemis and the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, to name two.
Mm-hmm. Which are both wonders of the ancient wonders of the world, and the game would be 7 Wonders.
Yes. What's 7 Wonders?
Each of you is building your own wonder, and you're passing cards around in a circle, and each time you pass the cards, you take one of the cards for yourself and give the others to your opponents, and you're basically just laying down. You're gaining resources, claiming points, building like gardens and things.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
It's nice, light. You can play in under like 30 minutes. It's a good one.
All
good
right.
time filler.
Cool. Maybe someday we can play games
When we can all interact again. I mean, most of these games you can play online now. It's just that you lose that human interaction of actually playing a game with people.
I've become a destroyer at Six qui prend.
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's good.
Six qui prend.
I mean, it's very translatable to online.
Mm-hmm. That's a card game? Or?
Yeah, it's a card game. Okay, next. The basic source or origin of something.
I was going to say Origins, which is a board game, but
Also part of a tree.
Root.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you played Root?
Yeah, it's an adorable game. That is one that I've been playing online with some friends recently. It's a very well illustrated, very cute game about woodland animals, where you play as mice or kittens or birds, and they're all at war with each other. And it's like actually a fairly intense war strategy game, disguised as a beautiful little kids game.
Cute.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's intense though. I mean, and the rule system is different if you're the birds or the cats or the mice, and so you have to learn the game like 4 or 5 times to master it, and it turns a lot of people off because there's a lot of rules. But it's fun. It's good.
Do you know what game is also very cute? Sushi Go.
Yes. Which was based off of 7 Wonders. So
Okay.
if you are familiar with Sushi Go, it's the same mechanic.
Okay.
Sushi Go is just a more condensed version.
It's very cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. And a good
And there's no killing.
and a
There's
good
just,
time filler.
It's just sushi.
It's just putting cute sushis on top of other sushis. And
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay, last one. A piece of land surrounded by water that's inhabited by ghosts.
Okay, that must be Spirit Island,
Correct.
which a really good game where it turns colonialism on its head, and you play as the spirits of an island trying to chase away the colonists who try to come and drive out all the natives. And it's about killing little white men.
Nice.
It's great.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that's all I got for you, sir.
All right.
You've performed brilliantly.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
No, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks a lot.
So just to be clear, the exact wording on that Ken Jennings question that was his downfall was, most of this firm's 70,000 seasonal white-collar employees work only 4 months a year. I just wanted to get you that exact clue, which was the H&R Block answer. So there you go. If you want more trivia from me, you can follow Paris Quiz Mistress on Instagram or Facebook. You can also sign up for my newsletter. You can come play along with one of my live quizzes, either virtually or at the pub whichever the current moment calls for. And until next time, stay nerdy and keep quizzing.